Captain Jake Martinez stood on the bridge of Earth's defense station. He looked out at the stars through the big window. Everything seemed peaceful. But peace was about to end. The communication screen lit up with a bright blue light. A strange face appeared on the screen. It was not human. The creature had bug-like eyes and sharp teeth. Its skin was green and covered with hard plates like armor. "I am Viltar of the Zephyrian Empire," the alien said. Its voice was cold and mean. "You will listen to our demands." Jake felt his heart beat faster. This was the first time aliens had contacted Earth directly. He pressed a button to record everything. "We know about your little planet," Viltar continued. "You have something we want. Your moon has good mining materials. We will take it." Commander Lisa Parker stood behind Jake. She was Earth's best military planner. Her face stayed calm, but her hands made fists. She had trained for this day her whole life. "You have 7 of your days to leave the moon," Viltar said. "Take all your people and machines away. If you do not, we will make you leave." On the screen behind the alien, Jake could see huge spaceships. They were bigger than anything Earth had ever built. The ships looked like giant metal insects with weapons all over them. "And if we refuse?" Jake asked. Viltar's bug eyes got brighter. "Then we will show you what happens to planets that do not obey the strong." The screen went dark. Jake and Lisa looked at each other. They both knew this was bad. "How many ships did you count?" Lisa asked. 12 big ones," Jake said. "Maybe more behind them." Admiral Kate Sullivan's voice came through the speaker. She was calling from Earth's main command center. "All officers report to the war room now. This is not a drill." Jake and Lisa took a fast shuttle down to Earth. The war room was deep underground in a mountain. When they got there, 50 of Earth's best military people were already sitting around a big table. Admiral Sullivan stood at the front. She was a tall woman, with gray hair and smart eyes. Everyone respected her. "You all saw the alien message," she said. "They want our moon. They think we will just give it to them." General Marcus Webb raised his hand. He was in charge of Earth's space forces. "Admiral, their ships are much bigger than ours. We only have 30 combat ships. They have at least 12 dreadnoughts. Size is not everything," Admiral Sullivan said. "We have something they do not expect." Dr. Alan Cooper stood up. He was a thin man with thick glasses. "The aliens do not know about Project Hellfire," he said quietly. Everyone in the room knew about Project Hellfire. It was Earth's most secret weapon. Dr. Cooper had been working on it for 3 years. It could turn any moon or planet into a giant bomb. "The aliens think we are weak because we are new to space," Admiral Sullivan said. "They are wrong. We have been fighting wars on Earth for thousands of years. We know how to fight." Colonel Steve Morgan spoke up. He commanded Earth's fastest attack ships. "What about the Galactic Council? Will they help us?" Lisa shook her head. "I checked all our messages. The Council knew the aliens were coming. They did nothing to stop it." "The Council thinks we should just give up," Admiral Sullivan said. Her voice was angry now. "They see us as primitive creatures who should do what we are told." Jake looked around the room. Everyone was thinking the same thing. Earth was alone. "Here is what we will do," Admiral Sullivan said. She pressed a button, and a picture of the moon appeared on the wall. "We will evacuate Luna Base. Every person, every important machine. Make it look like we are running away scared." "But we are not running away," Dr. Cooper said with a small smile. "No, we are not," Admiral Sullivan agreed. "We are setting a trap." The plan was simple but dangerous. Earth would make the aliens think they had won easily. The aliens would land on the moon and set up their base. Then Project Hellfire would activate. What about their ships in space? Colonel Morgan asked. "That is where you come in," Admiral Sullivan said. "When the moon explodes, their ships will be confused and damaged. That is when we attack with everything we have." Commander Danny Torres was in charge of Earth's spy ships. He spoke quietly. "Admiral, what if this does not work? What if we fail?" "Admiral." Sullivan looked at each person in the room. "Then Earth will be destroyed anyway. At least this way, we fight back." The room was quiet for a long moment. Everyone knew the risks. Earth's entire future depended on this plan working. "We have 3 days to get ready," Admiral Sullivan said. "Colonel Morgan, move all combat ships to hiding positions behind Mars. Lisa, start evacuating the moon base. Make it look real." "What about the people on Earth?" Jake asked. "Should we tell them?" "Not yet," Admiral Sullivan said. "If people panic, the aliens might suspect something." Over the next 2 days, Earth's military worked without stopping. Ships moved quietly through space. The moon base was slowly emptied. To anyone watching, it looked like Earth was giving up. But in secret places, weapons were being prepared. Earth's small fleet of combat ships was getting ready for the most important battle in human history. On the 3rd day, Jake stood on Luna Base as the last shuttle prepared to leave. The base felt empty and sad. Soon, alien boots would walk on. "These floors, are you ready?" Lisa asked him. Jake looked up at Earth hanging in the black sky. Somewhere up there, alien ships were waiting to take humanity's home away. "Yes," he said. "Let's show them what happens when you threaten Earth." The alien ships moved toward the moon like giant metal sharks. Captain Beth Turner watched them through her ship's cameras from behind an asteroid. Her fighter squadron was hidden and waiting. "Look at them," her pilot Danny said over the radio. "They think they already won." Beth could see the alien landing ships heading down to Luna Base. The big warships stayed in space, pointing their weapons at Earth. They were not even trying to hide. On Earth, Dr. Alan Cooper sat in the secret control room deep underground. His hands moved over the computer controls. Project Hellfire was ready. All he had to do was press one button. "Alien ships have landed on the moon," came the report from the spy satellites. "They are setting up their base right on top of our old one." Dr. Cooper smiled. The aliens had done exactly what Earth wanted them to do. Admiral Sullivan stood behind him. "How long until they are all inside the danger zone?" 2 more hours, Dr. Cooper said. "They are bringing down more troops and equipment. They want to make sure the moon is completely theirs." Colonel Steve Morgan was hiding behind Mars with Earth's main attack fleet. His ships were small compared to the alien dreadnoughts, but they were fast and full of angry humans. "Remember this plan?" he told his captains over the secure channel. "Wait for the moon to blow up, then hit them while they are confused. Aim for their engines first." Commander Danny Torres was closer to the moon in his spy ship. He was counting the alien forces and sending information back to Earth. 12 big warships still in space, he reported. At least 50 smaller ships landed on the moon. "Looks like they brought about 2,000 soldiers." "Good," Admiral Sullivan said. "The more aliens on the moon, the better." Jake Martinez was on the main Earth Defense Station. He could see the alien ships through the big telescopes. Part of him felt bad for what was about to happen. But then he remembered how the aliens had threatened his home. "All ships report ready," came the message from Colonel Morgan. "Spy satellites. Show all alien forces in position," reported Commander Torres. Admiral Sullivan looked at Dr. Cooper. "Do it?" Dr. Cooper pressed the button. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the moon lit up like a new sun. The explosion started deep inside the moon, where Dr. Cooper had hidden the special bombs 3 years ago. The bombs used the same power as stars. When they went off, they turned part of the moon into pure energy. South side of the moon exploded outward in a ball of fire and light. Chunks of rock, the size of cities, flew through space. The alien base and everyone in it was destroyed in less than a second. 2 alien warships were too close to the moon. The explosion hit them like a giant hammer. Their shields failed, and their hulls cracked. One ship broke apart completely. The other one spun out of control, bleeding air and fire. The other alien ships were farther away, but the explosion still hurt them. Their sensors went blind from the bright light. Their communications stopped working. Rock and metal pieces hit their hulls like bullets. Now, Colonel Morgan shouted over the radio. Earth's attack fleet came out from behind Mars like a pack of wolves. The human ships were much smaller than the alien ones, but there were more of them, and they moved faster. Captain Beth Turner led her fighters straight into the chaos around the moon. The space around Luna was full of spinning rocks and metal pieces. The alien ships could not see clearly or move safely. Use the debris as cover, Beth told her pilots. Hit them and run. Her fighters darted between the chunks of moon rock, firing missiles at the confused alien ships. The aliens tried to shoot back, but they could not aim properly in all the chaos. One alien ship tried to run away, but Jake Martinez was ready. The defense station's big guns fired. The alien ship's engines exploded, and it drifted helpless in space. Colonel Morgan's destroyer hit another alien ship with everything it had. The alien ship was bigger and stronger, but it was hurt from the moon explosion. Human missiles punched through its damaged shields. Their shields are weak on the bottom, shouted Captain Rick Davis over the radio. His ship rolled under an alien dreadnought and fired up into its belly. The alien ship shook as explosions ran along its hull. Commander Torres moved his spy ship close to a damaged alien vessel. "I can see inside their bridge," he reported. "They look scared and confused. They do not know what hit them." The battle lasted 4 hours. It was not like the space battles in movies. It was messy and violent, and full of mistakes. But the humans had advantages the aliens did not expect. Earth's pilots had grown up playing video games and flying aircraft in Earth's thick atmosphere. They were used to flying in dangerous conditions. The aliens were used to formal battles in empty space. Human ships worked together like a team. When one ship was in trouble, others came to help. The alien ships seemed to fight alone, even when they were next to each other. Most important, the humans were fighting for their home. Every pilot and captain knew that if they lost, Earth would be enslaved or destroyed. By the end of the battle, 11 of the 12 alien warships were destroyed or captured. The last one was trying to escape, but Captain Beth Turner's fighters chased it down. "This is for threatening Earth," she said as her missiles hit the alien ship's engines. When the fighting stopped, space around Earth was full of floating wreckage. Pieces of alien ships mixed with chunks of moon rock. The moon itself was smaller now, with a huge crater where the South Pole used to be. Admiral Sullivan stood in the command center, looking at the reports. "Any alien survivors?" "We captured about 50 aliens from the damaged ships," Colonel Morgan reported. "The rest are dead." "What about the ones who escaped?" Commander Torres checked his instruments. "No one escaped, Admiral. We got them all." 4. The first time in days, Admiral Sullivan smiled. But it was not a happy smile. It was the smile of someone who had just started a war. "Good," she said. "Now comes the hard part." Admiral Sullivan called all of Earth's top military leaders to the war room. The big table was covered with star maps showing alien space. Red dots marked Zephyrian worlds and bases across dozens of solar systems. "The aliens came to our home," Admiral Sullivan said. Her voice was cold and hard. "Now we go to theirs." General Marcus Webb pointed at the star map. "Admiral, this is their entire empire. 43 worlds, hundreds of space stations, Thousands of ships? How can we fight all of that? We do not fight all of it at once, Admiral Sullivan replied. We break it into pieces. Jake Martinez looked at the captured alien computers they had taken from the destroyed ships. Earth's best computer experts had been working day and night to crack the alien codes. We have their navigation maps, Jake reported. We know where all their bases are. We also have their communication codes and ship schedules. Dr. Alan Cooper had been busy too. I can build more moon bombs, he said. Smaller ones that we can put on our ships. If we can get close to their space stations, we can destroy them. Commander Danny Torres had been studying the alien prisoners. They are scared, he said. They keep asking why we attacked them. They really thought we would just give up. Admiral Sullivan walked around the star map. Here is what we will do. We hit them everywhere at the same time. Fast attacks, then we disappear before they can fight back. She pointed to different red dots on the map. Colonel Morgan, you take the shipyards here and here. Captain Turner, hit their supply bases in this system. Jake, take the communication centers. What about their homeworld? Asked General Webb. We save that for last, Admiral Sullivan said with a dark smile. The plan was bigger than anything Earth had ever tried. Human ships would spread across alien space and hit dozens of targets at once. It was dangerous, but it would confuse the aliens and stop them from working together. Captain Nicole Hayes got ready to lead the attack on the alien shipyards. Her battle group had 5 destroyers and 20 fighters. It was not much against a heavily defended space station, but she had Dr. Cooper's special bombs. Remember, she told her captains, we jump in fast, drop the bombs, and jump out. Do not try to fight their big ships. We are not here to have a fair fight. Colonel Frank Butler was preparing for a different kind of mission. His Marines would capture alien cargo ships and steal their supplies. Every ship full of weapons or food that Earth took was one less ship helping the alien war effort. The aliens ship everything by space freighter, he explained to his men. Big, slow, lightly. Defended ships. We board them, take what we want, and send the crew home in lifeboats. Commander Torres had the hardest job. He would take his spy ships deep into alien space and cut their communication lines. Without communications, the alien fleets could not coordinate their defenses. Earth's shipyards worked day and night to get ready. Every human ship was loaded with extra fuel, weapons, and Dr. Cooper's bombs. The attack had to work the first time, because Earth would not get a second chance. 3 weeks after the moon battle, Earth's revenge began. Captain Hayes jumped her battle group into the Kepler system, where the aliens built their biggest warships. The space station there was huge, bigger than a city, with half-finished alien dreadnoughts floating around it. Target the main reactor, Hayes ordered. If we can blow that up, it will take the whole station with it. Her ships raced toward the station, while alien fighters scrambled to stop them. Hayes's ship took hits from alien weapons, but she kept flying straight at her target. Bomb away, she shouted as her ship dropped Dr. Cooper's special weapon right into the station's power core. The explosion lit up the entire system. The space station and 6 unfinished warships were destroyed in a ball of fire. Hayes's ships jumped away just as alien reinforcements arrived, not at the same time. Colonel Butler was attacking a convoy of alien supply ships near the border. His Marines used small, fast ships to get close to the big freighters. Surrender and you will not be hurt, Butler broadcast to the alien crews. Most of them gave up without a fight. They were not soldiers, just people trying to do their jobs. Butler's men took all the weapons, food, and fuel from the cargo ships. Then they let the alien crews go in escape pods with enough supplies to reach the nearest alien base. Why did you let them go? asked Sergeant Bill Hayes, Butler's second in command. Because scared aliens will spread fear faster than dead ones, Butler replied. When these crews tell their story, other freighter captains will surrender instead of fighting. Commander Torres was having his own success deep in alien space. His spy ships found the main communication relay that connected all the alien worlds. It was hidden in an asteroid field and lightly guarded. Cut all the cables, Torres ordered his technical team. Make it look like an accident if you can. When the communication relay went dark, 43 alien worlds suddenly could not talk to each other. Military commanders could not coordinate. Civilian leaders could not call for help. The entire alien empire was cut into isolated pieces. The attacks continued for days. Every time the aliens thought they knew where the humans would strike next, Earth ships appeared somewhere else entirely. Captain Rick Davis destroyed an alien fuel depot, leaving an entire fleet stranded without power. Lieutenant Amy Foster captured an alien admiral's personal ship and all his battle plans. Major Tom Wilson blew up a weapons factory that supplied half the alien military. The aliens tried to respond, but they were confused and disorganized. Their ships were spread across too many systems. Their communications were cut. Their supplies were being stolen or destroyed. On the alien home world, panic was spreading. Refugee ships arrived every day with news of more human attacks. The Zephyrian government had never faced an enemy like this. They are everywhere at once, reported General Kethfor to the Zephyrian High Command. Our forces cannot catch them. They attack, destroy our bases, and disappear before we can respond. How many human ships are there? Demanded Supreme Commander. Velanash, we do not know, General Kethfor admitted. They move so fast and hit so many targets that we cannot count them. It could be hundreds or thousands. The truth was that Earth only had about 60 combat ships total. But by moving fast and hitting targets across the entire alien empire, they made it look like a huge invasion force. Admiral Sullivan watched the reports come in from her command. Center on Earth. Every day brought news of more successful attacks. The alien empire was falling apart faster than she had hoped. How long can we keep this up? Asked General Webb. As long as we have to, Admiral Sullivan replied. The aliens wanted to see what humans could do. We are showing them. But Earth's success was about to attract attention from someone even more powerful than the aliens. The Galactic Council was getting worried about these new humans who seemed too good at war. The emergency meeting of the Galactic Council was unlike anything in their history. Representatives from over 100 different alien species gathered in the Great Chamber. They were all talking about the same thing, the Humans.Council chairman. Mordok stood at the center of the chamber. He was a being made of living crystal that glowed with different colors when he was upset. Right now, he was glowing bright red. In 60 days, Mordok announced, the humans have destroyed the entire Zephyrian military. 47 space stations, 300 ships, and 12 major bases. All gone. Representative Veltar, the same alien who had threatened Earth, sat in the prisoner section of the chamber. His bug-like eyes were dull with defeat. Half of his body was covered in bandages from when his ship was captured. They are not like other species, Veltar said quietly. They do not fight the way civilized beings fight. They are ruthless and clever, and they never stop. Ambassador Helen Price walked into the chamber, surrounded by 6 human guards. She was Earth's first representative to the Galactic Council. The aliens had never seen humans before, and many of them stepped back when she entered. Helen was a small woman with gray hair and kind eyes. She looked harmless, but everyone in the chamber knew that her species had just destroyed an entire interstellar empire. Honored representatives, Helen said in a calm voice, I come here to discuss peace. Peace? Shouted Representative Zixtal. a tall alien with tentacles instead of arms. Your species has committed genocide. You have murdered millions. Helen's face remained calm. We gave the Zephyrians many chances to leave our system in peace. They chose war instead. This level of violence is unacceptable, declared Mordok. No civilized species fights with such brutality. General Paul Roberts stepped forward. He was Earth's military representative, a big man with scars on his face from the moon battle. With respect, Sherman, the Zephyrians threatened to destroy Earth and enslave our people. What did you expect us to do? Surrender, like every other primitive species does, said Representative Holgain, a floating jellyfish-like creature. The strong rule the weak. That is how the galaxy works. Helen smiled, but it was not a friendly smile. That is how the galaxy used to work. She pressed a button on her wrist computer. A holographic display appeared in the center of the chamber. It showed star maps with red dots marking human ship positions. The alien representatives gasped. There were human ships near every major trade route and military base in the galaxy. Earth had not just defeated the Zephyrians. They had positioned themselves to threaten everyone. How is this possible? Whispered Representative Kolonax, a bird-like alien whose feathers turned white with fear. You only had a few ships a few months ago. We built more, General Roberts said simply. Humans are very good at building things quickly when we are motivated. The truth was more complicated. Earth had captured dozens of alien ships and modified them with human weapons and technology. Dr. Cooper had also built more of his special bombs, giving even small human ships the power to destroy space stations. This is a threat to Galactic peace, Mordok declared. We demand that you withdraw your forces immediately. Or what? Helen asked politely. The chamber fell silent. Every species in the council had their own military forces, but none of them wanted to fight the humans after seeing what happened to the Zephyrians. The council has the authority to impose sanctions, said Representative Telmir, a slug-like creature with multiple eyes. We can cut off all trade and communication with your world. Helen laughed. You mean like you did when the Zephyrians threatened to destroy Earth? Oh wait, you did nothing then. The Zephyrian matter was an internal dispute, Mordok said defensively. The council does not interfere in such matters. But now that we won, suddenly it is your business, General Roberts observed. Interesting. Commander Danny Torres entered the chamber with a datapad. He whispered something to Helen, who nodded and stood up. I have just received word from our forces, Helen announced. The last Zephyrian military base has surrendered. Their government has officially asked for peace terms. What are your terms? Asked Veltar from his prisoner seat. Helen looked at the defeated alien with no emotion. Complete surrender. All Zephyrian military forces disbanded. All conquered worlds freed. Full reparations for the damage to our moon. And if they refuse? Asked Mordok. Then we finish what they started, Helen replied coldly. Representative Yulgoth, a massive creature that looked like a walking tree, spoke in a deep voice. You would destroy an entire species? They threatened to destroy ours, General Roberts pointed out. We are just returning the favor. This is not how civilized beings solve problems, protested Representative Sektar, an alien that looked like a giant insect. There are rules for war, codes of conduct, honor. Helen turned to face the entire assembly. Honor? Where was honor when the Zephyrians demanded our moon? Where were your rules when they threatened to attack a peaceful world? You were not members of the council then, Mordok said. You had no protection under galactic law. Exactly, Helen said, so we protected ourselves. Captain Jake Martinez watched the proceedings from the observation deck above the main chamber. He was amazed at how scared the aliens looked. These were the same species that had ruled the galaxy for thousands of years, and they were terrified of one small human woman. The debate continued for hours. Some alien representatives demanded that Earth be punished for their excessive response to the Zephyrian threat. Others argued that the humans had only defended themselves. Finally, Mordok called for order. The Council will vote on a resolution demanding human withdrawal from Zephyrian space. Before you vote, Helen said, standing up slowly, I have something to show you. She pressed another button on her wrist computer. This time, the holographic display showed technical specifications for human weapons. The aliens in the chamber began to mutter and whisper as they saw the data. Those are our weapon designs, Helen explained calmly. Ships, missiles, bombs, fighters. We are sharing this information with you as a gesture of good faith. Representative Zixtel's tentacles waved in confusion. Why would you show us your military secrets? Because, Helen said with a smile that made several aliens step backward, we want you to understand exactly what you would be fighting if you decide to oppose us. The chamber erupted in frightened voices as the alien representatives saw just how advanced human military technology had become. Dr. Cooper's bombs were more powerful than anything in the galaxy. Human ships were faster and more maneuverable than alien designs. Human tactics were completely unlike anything the Council had ever seen. You see, General Roberts added, we learned something important from the Zephyrian attack. The galaxy is full of bullies who think they can push around anyone weaker than them. We decided we do not want to be weak anymore, Helen concluded. Mordek's crystal body flickered between different colors as he tried to process what he was hearing. Are you threatening the entire Galactic Council? Helen shook her head. We are not threatening anyone who does not threaten us first. But if you try to stop us from defending ourselves, you will get the same treatment the Zephyrians got. The vote on the resolution was cancelled. No one wanted to find out if the humans were bluffing. 6 months after the first Zephyrian ship had threatened Earth, the galaxy was a very different place. Admiral Sullivan stood on the observation deck of the new human space station Defiance, watching cargo ships from dozens of different worlds arrive with trade goods. Hard to believe, said Jake Martinez, who was now captain of the station. A year ago, most of these species had never heard of humans. Now they all want to be our friends, Admiral Sullivan replied with a slight smile. Funny how that works. The Zephyrian Empire no longer existed. Some of their worlds had joined the Human Alliance. Others had declared independence. A few had asked for protection from human forces. Commander Lisa Parker walked up to them carrying a datapad. She was now in charge of managing the occupied Zephyrian territories. The refugee situation is getting better, she reported. Most of the displaced Zephyrians have found new homes. It was true. After the war ended, millions of Zephyrian civilians had been left homeless when their government collapsed. Instead of abandoning them, Earth had helped relocate them to peaceful agricultural worlds where they could start over. Any problems? Admiral Sullivan asked. Some of the other species are complaining that we are being too nice to our former enemies, Lisa said. They think we should have enslaved them or killed them all. That is not how humans do things, Admiral Sullivan said firmly. We fight when we have to, but we do not murder innocents. Captain Sam Hughes commanded the patrol ship Guardian as it escorted a convoy through the former Zephyrian space. Half the ships in the convoy were carrying Zephyrian refugees to their new homes. The other half were carrying human aid supplies. Guardian, this is cargo ship New Hope, came a voice over the radio. It was Captain Velmer, a former Zephyrian military officer who now worked for the human merchant fleet. We have a problem with pirates in Sector 7. On our way, Sam replied. His ship accelerated toward the trouble. The pirates were members of the Krillian Republic, a species that had tried to take advantage of the chaos after the Zephyrian collapse. They learned quickly that attacking ships under human protection was a bad idea. Sam's ship arrived just as the pirates were boarding a refugee transport. "This is Captain Hughes of the Earth Defense Force," he broadcast. "Release the ship and surrender immediately." The pirate leader laughed over the radio. "One little human. Ship against 5 Krillian raiders? You should run away while you can." Wrong answer. Sam said the Guardian was a small ship, but it carried Dr. Cooper's latest weapons. The pirate ships were destroyed in less than 5 minutes. Sam's crew rescued the refugees and sent the surviving pirates home with a message for their government. Back on Earth, the Galactic Council was holding another emergency meeting. This time, they were not complaining about human actions. They were asking for human help. "The Andromedian Hive has invaded 3 systems in the Outer Rim," reported Chairman Murdoch. His crystal body was glowing with worry. "Our forces cannot stop them." Ambassador Helen Price listened calmly. Earth was now a full member of the Galactic Council, with veto power over major decisions. "What do you want us to do about it?" "Help us fight them," pleaded Representative Zixtal. "Your ships are the only ones strong enough to stop a hive invasion." Helen looked around the chamber at the same aliens who had condemned Earth just months ago. "I thought we were too violent and ruthless for civilized warfare." "That was before. We understood the threat we all face," Murdoch admitted. "The hive does not negotiate. They do not take prisoners. They consume entire worlds." "Sounds familiar," General Roberts observed. "Like what the Zephyrians threatened to do to Earth." The room fell silent. Everyone remembered how the Council had refused to help Earth when the Zephyrians attacked. "We will help," Helen said finally. "But things are going to change around here." "What do you mean?" asked Representative Telmere. "No more bullying," Helen explained. "No more letting strong species attack weak ones. No more ignoring threats until they become everyone's problem." "You want to change thousands of years of galactic tradition," protested Representative Holgain. "Yes," Helen said simply. "That tradition is what created this mess in the first place." Admiral Sullivan received the orders to deploy human forces against the Andromedian Hive. She was not surprised. Earth had become the galaxy's police force almost by accident. "How many ships do we send?" asked General Webb. "All of them," Admiral Sullivan replied. "If we are going to do this job, we do it right." The human fleet that assembled to fight the hive was impressive. 300 combat ships, including captured and modified alien vessels. 50 supply ships carrying Dr. Cooper's most powerful weapons. And 20,000 human soldiers ready to fight for worlds they had never seen. Colonel Frank Butler now commanded the human marine force. His men had been training with volunteers from other species, teaching them human tactics and learning their strengths. "Remember," he told his officers, "we are not just fighting for Earth anymore. We are fighting for everyone who cannot fight for themselves." The battle against the Andromedian Hive lasted 3 months. It was the largest space war in galactic history. Human forces worked alongside alien allies to push back the invasion. Captain Beth Turner, now an admiral herself, led the final assault on the Hive mothership. It was a massive creature the size of a moon, covered in weapons and armor. Her fleet hit it with everything they had, including a dozen of Dr. Cooper's biggest bombs. When the mothership died, the rest of the Hive fleet retreated. The invasion was over, but everyone knew they would be back someday. Commander Danny Torres, now head of Galactic Intelligence, stood in the council chamber as the representatives voted on the new Galactic Charter. The document established Earth as the leader of a new military alliance dedicated to protecting peaceful worlds. "All in favor?" asked Chairman Moore. Single quotes doc. Every hand, tentacle, and appendage in the chamber went up. The vote was unanimous. Helen Price smiled as she signed the charter. Earth had gone from being ignored to being the most important world in the galaxy in less than a year. But the real change was not in the documents or the treaties. It was in how everyone thought about war and peace. Dr. Alan Cooper was working in his new laboratory on the Human Research Station. He was no longer making weapons. Instead, he was developing technology to help rebuild worlds damaged by war. His latest project was a machine that could turn dead planets back into places where people could live. The galaxy does not need more ways to destroy things, he explained to his assistant, Dr. Rachel Kim. It needs more ways to fix things. Captain Nicole Hayes was on the bridge of her flagship Redemption, patrolling the border between human space and the unknown regions. Her job was not to conquer new worlds, but to watch for threats that might harm peaceful species. Contact on. Sensors, reported her tactical officer, Lieutenant Mark Thompson. Unknown ship, heavily damaged. The ship turned out to be full of refugees from a species called the Deltari. Their home world had been destroyed by something they called the Dark Fleet, machines that consumed entire solar systems. How many survivors? Nicole asked. About 3,000, Mark replied. Their ship is falling apart. They will not make it much further. Nicole did not hesitate. Bring them aboard. Send a message to Earth. We have a new threat to deal with. This was how things worked now. When someone was in trouble, they called Earth. When a new danger appeared, human ships investigated. When bullies threatened the weak, human forces showed up to even the odds. Some of the older species complained that humans were too involved in galactic affairs. But their complaints were quiet and careful. No one wanted to be the next example of what happened when you threatened human allies. Admiral Sullivan was getting old, but she still commanded Earth's forces from her headquarters on Luna. The moon had been rebuilt after the explosion, bigger and stronger than before. It was now the center of human military power. Any regrets? Asked Jake Martinez during one of their weekly meetings. He was now an admiral himself, in charge of training new human officers. Admiral Sullivan looked out at the stars through her office window. About the war? No, the Zephyrians made their choice. We just made sure they understood the consequences. What about becoming the galaxy's protectors? Admiral Sullivan was quiet for a long moment. Someone has to do it. For thousands of years, the strong picked on the weak, and no one stopped them. Now we stop them. But who protects the galaxy from us? Jake asked. It was a good question. Earth now had the most powerful military in the galaxy. Human ships patrolled every major trade route. Human bases guarded important worlds. What if Earth decided to become a bully too? That is why we have rules, Admiral Sullivan said. Written rules that everyone agrees to follow. Rules that apply to us too. The new galactic charter was very clear. No species could attack another without proving they were defending themselves. All conflicts had to be reported to the Council. Any species that broke the rules would face the combined forces of the Alliance. Even Earth had to follow these rules. Human forces could only act when they were invited by a planet's government or when the Council voted to authorize action. General Marcus Webb commanded the Alliance forces that protected the Outer Rim territories. His fleet included ships from 20 different species, all working together under human leadership. It is not perfect, he had me